They're not the same scrubs you were wearing there.
They will. I think they're exactly. I'm not even sure we've watched them.
We have more than one pair, but
I'd like to think so. Hello, welcome.
It's so nice to be
What
here.
we've done for you.
Wow. This is amazing.
Yeah.
We were watching bits of the programme, and you don't shy away from the gooey stuff and the icky stuff, do you, at all?
It's very important that we put the gross stuff on the TV.
Yeah.
And we know the nicest thing we hear about Operation Ouch is that the kids and the families that watch the show are more relaxed when they're patients or when they're in hospital. And when you've seen a kid with, we show, kids with their heads split open and broken bones and all sorts of things, but we show them when they're relaxed and they're treated and they're happy, then when you go into A&E and it's happened to you, you're not terrified of what's going on.
Grossness is the easiest emotion to kind of explore other emotions and start to handle difficult things. So it's quite deliberate. We do it in a very careful way.
I suppose the delight of making ostensibly it's a programme for children, but I've only watched a little bit of it, and instantly you're drawn in. Doesn't matter how old you are, to be honest. It's stylised and it's friendly. But there's information in there. We just saw the clip, didn't we, with a young boy who came in with gravel in his head. And you see the nuts and bolts. You see them getting to grips with it. It's good. It works because it makes you think about the work that people like you do.
One of the big messages is to show to kids and to families, because it's family viewing, that when something bad happens to you, there are people all over the UK just who are out there. They're out there right now waiting to help you. They're in ambulances, they're in hospitals, they're in GP surgeries. And we want to... We've done search and rescue, we've looked at the Coast Guard, all the people who will help you to provide that reassurance. But, yeah, I think we want... In every episode, there's something that a fully qualified doctor wouldn't know.
Yeah, we learn a lot making it.
Yeah.
Like what?
So the first episode we ever filmed, we did a thing on sneezing, and we looked it all up in the textbooks. The textbooks show when you sneeze, stuff comes out your nose. We filmed the sneeze, nothing comes out your nose, everything comes out your mouth. So we had to then really dig in.
Why do you sneeze?
Why do you sneeze? You're not blasting things out your nose. You sneeze because it stimulates a reflex that then causes mucus secretion. I'm sorry for everyone eating their breakfast. That then flushes out anything up your nose.
I have in my head that there used to be a figure knocking around that the used to come out of your nose at a certain miles per hour. It was one of those things that everyone...
Comes out your mouth.
But it's very high velocity. Do you know the speed of a sneeze?
Why does it feel like...
There'll be Ouch viewers who know it, though. Someone will write in.
We know that the show is widely watched by our colleagues with their kids. We know that there are doctors and professors watching every show. So we're very... we have a wonderful team surrounding us, and we are very particular that if a fully qualified doctor is watching it, they will still learn something and they won't fact-check us.
A sneeze can travel at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour.
That's great.
According to Dr. Internet. Well, it doesn't say. It doesn't say.
But coming out of your mouth, yeah, exactly.
Is it? I had to suppress a sneeze. Ben was doing some work and I have a really, really loud sneeze. So I suppressed 2 sneezes earlier.
Yes.
Is it bad for you?
Yes. So you shouldn't worry. You're fine.
Thank you.
But very occasionally, people sneeze and they stifle a sneeze and it can make a small hole and you get a thing called surgical emphysema where you can get air... So a hole in your air tubes in your trachea, and you can get air under your skin and you feel a little crunchy bubbliness under your skin. Very rare, but when you're told not to stifle a sneeze, that is for a good reason.
So if Ben is on air again and doing his work, I can just sneeze. I have permission because it's medically safer to do it, yeah?
Why does it feel so nice the moments just before a sneeze?
Yeah.
These are such good questions.
If we do another series, maybe we'll do series 14, we will grapple with that.
That's such a good... I don't... These are brilliant. Yeah, this is good. OK, if we can do series 14, we'll bring you
another
on.
time.
Do you know the production values, and I'm not being all TV talker here, but the production values of this show are very... And children's programming demands it now, doesn't it? Because the quality is so high.
So Hamyard Animations do those animations, and that sets the tone for the... this logo, they have built the tone for the show that is extraordinary, but it's made... The show is made with a huge amount of love and care. So the footage of the boy with the gravel in his head, there was a man called Christian who basically puts up a tent in an A&E department waiting room and lives there for months. And every kid that comes in, he says...
It's more than Christian, but yeah, Christian...
No, but essentially, but there are, the individuals have been doing it for years and they're brilliant at getting kids having the worst day of their lives quite often to go, hey, you've seen Operation Ouch, we'd like to be on it.
And it's a family show, so we have Dan and Raph, twins, we have Dr. Ronks, who's our very much our third twin. We've got two sisters,
cool
Romilly
name.
and Rhea, who've been doing it almost since the very beginning. Romilly's been there since the beginning. So there's lots of family involvement. So part of the show is also showcasing kind of family relationships and how they work, and it's Xand and I bickering and resolving it.
I love the way you tapped his knee then.
You were so nice to each other.
Do you get confounded by... Children, as we all know, ask very direct questions. They ask things in a different way than adults do. Do you get confounded ever, you know, in those situations? Has that happened? I mean, maybe just in your medical practice, I don't know. There is a directness to children, which is a wonderful thing.
I think I still work in the NHS as an infectious diseases doctor, and being on Ouch has taught me the power of saying I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And
You have to say you don't know.
You have to. You can't fool a kid, really. So they ask these very confronting questions, and quite often they'll ask something like your question about sneezing, and you have to say, I don't know, but I'm going to try and get the answer.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what the show is about.
What do you say to a child? And I think one of the scariest, I remember having stitches when I was very, very young. I still remember it. What do you say to a child who's scared of being in pain when you know something will hurt?
Putting people in control of the situation changes your experience of pain enormously. So knowledge changes pain and control. So if you say to a child who's terrified of stitches, look, here's what's about to happen. Here's the local anaesthetic, we'll give that. Here are the things we're going to do. Here's a mirror so you can see it. You get to say when we start, you get to say it. Put them in control. A lot of pain is about fear. And we know that when you relax people, they experience pain completely differently.
And have you always got the time to do that?
Well, on Operation Ouch we do. Neither of us treat children.
But we're not doing that, yeah.
A lot of people think we're paediatricians, and we're
No,
not.
I don't. I just think that, you know,
Operation
that's...
Ouch, the project, I think, is... I mean, there are several things we're doing in the show. We're celebrating science and healthcare. We're entertaining people. It's a comedy show in some senses. We're empowering kids, but once you understand what's going on inside your body and inside a hospital or inside all of the many other aspects of the healthcare system, then the whole thing is less anxious. And this is what we hear from our colleagues, is kids who watch Ouch are less anxious.
What's the most embarrassing twin mix-up you two have had?
In our whole lives?
So we
Sounds like you're editorialising right now.
I know. Xand's wife.
We tried to do a presentation. It wasn't an important thing, but we tried to swap presentations at medical school, and we thought we could just get away with it. It was a calendar change. We wanted to do it on different days, and we thought I'd just be Chris and Chris would be me, and we failed it so badly that I think we even got our names wrong on the slides. So we've given up trying to impersonate each other.
OK.
We don't do it. You're getting the real versions here.
I think Ouch is a great thing. I think it just absolutely works.
You so
and I think adults should watch it too, because I think you learn all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to be here.
Didn't need to do the interview. You could have just said that, couldn't you? What? Because he loves it so much.
Do you know, whenever it's like how Newsround was, you know, when you went to Newsround, it's like somebody's explaining something in a way that you can understand. It works, doesn't it?
We've just been on Newsround. It was wonderful.
Yeah, well, they're brilliant at their jobs too. The next episode of Operation Ouch airs on CBBC at 11:35 a.m. on Wednesday. And, of course, it's available on the BBC iPlayer. We'll be back with the headlines shortly.